Are you just starting game development, or are you a seasoned game developer looking for the missing puzzle piece? Do you want to know what skills are necessary to be successful in game development? Let's find out together. Before starting with the actual skills, I want to mention that most of the game developers that I met up until this point share one thing in common: their strong passion for video games. This is what differentiates us, what drives us, comparable to other businesses where people want more money or more reputation. We just want to make awesome games. Careful though, this passion might be exploited by some companies. They might give you below market salaries, or they might push overtime on you because of your passion. So be mindful when you sign the contract. Do your research and make sure you get the best out of your passion. This episode is structured into 3 different parts. In the first one, we will discuss about the basic skills, what every game developer should know or should have already. Then we have the career skills, where we focus on particular skills and what skills are needed for you to get a game job in the industry. And lastly, the third one, the indie game developer skills, which we will see require a lot of other skills that are not so obvious from the start. Okay, basic skills. You are in luck. If you click this video, chances are you already possess some of the basic skills in game development. Those are creativity, a passion for games, keeping up with the trends in games, knowing about different input devices, consoles, etc., etc. So you might already have these skills. How can we improve these skills? Well, this is the most simplest thing to do. We just play more games, share them with friends, talk games with other people, and basically this is mostly it. Of course, keeping up with the trends is really important, but usually this is what we do on a gamer's basis. Once you get into the development side, you'll have like a special vision while playing the games, because you'll start noticing different patterns, different implementations, or how different things are actually made. So this is kind of cool, being a gamer and getting engaged in game development. So knowing the basic skills is really good, but they won't get you far into game development. This is where the technical skills come into, and why I've chosen to put them in the career section and not in the indie section, because in most jobs you'll be focusing on one particular area, be it programming, art, sound, level design, etc. So this is what a job offers you. It offers you specialization in a particular field. Be mindful though, not all skills are equal. Some companies might choose to outsource some parts of their games, and they usually start with sound, music, and then they go with the art, and in the end they actually might outsource programming, or with these new visual editors they might actually really remove programming altogether. So make sure you do your plan, act before the project finishes, because if you are not lucky, then you might be without a job and without a source of income. How can we improve these technical skills? Well, differentiating from the basic skills, you actually need to put some effort into these. Luckily, in this day and age, we have a lot of different ways where we can learn our craft, be it websites, books, being in internships, YouTube videos, it doesn't matter. We have a lot of different sources that we can use to improve our skills and be better at what we do. Try to get better every single day. Small progress is better than no progress. So try every day to learn just a little, 1%, it doesn't matter. In the end, they'll pile up and you'll be far away in what you want to achieve. One interesting thing about these technical skills: imagine you are in a role-playing game and you just gained a new level, and now you have 5 skill points that you have to distribute between programming, art, and sound, let's say. You have multiple options here. You can either choose to distribute them equally, which would be hard because we have 5 divided by 3, but that's not the point. The point is that usually people tend to distribute them in one category. So this is what a career path will have for you. You put most of your skill points in 1 or 2 skills. What if you decide that you don't want to implement other people's ideas and you want to implement your own ideas? You want to see your own project materialize and fly and reach the market and make happy players. So this is a journey on its own, and it is becoming a indie game developer. So what entails to be an indie game developer? Of course, you need the basic skills, which we discussed already. You also need the technical knowledge, but you might need to compensate that with even more skills, because usually most indie teams are small, even one-person teams, so you're most likely forced to wear multiple hats. Here what I see is that a lot of people put focus on the creational skills only. This is a common misconception in game development, and if you want to learn more about common misconceptions, you can click this video popping up right now. But the main idea is that this is the wrong approach if you want to have a successful indie career. There are other skills that are important that are not easily visible from the beginning if you decide to make a game on your own. And these are how to set up a business and how to run it, how to do your taxes, how to manage different people as employee or as contractors. It doesn't matter. You have to learn all of these things because in the end you need a lot of other people's help to achieve the project. To truly have success, one needs to master the skills of marketing. And speaking about marketing, I'll be doing a full series about that will jumpstart your marketing skills. Of course, these will be just basics, but the common misconception is that you need to have a lot of money to do marketing. Well, I have a surprise for you. You can actually do marketing for free, so you can start today. So how can people improve skills that don't have a clear path, like for example, programming, where you have to learn this and then that and then that, and this is what you have to learn next. How can you learn marketing or how can you learn to manage a business? Let's find out. There are two important components in this. First is perseverance and then adaptation. Let's break them down one by one and see what I mean with that. So first, perseverance is really important because usually learning new skills that don't have a clear path might lead you to a lot of mistakes, a lot of frustration, a lot of failures. And if you don't have the will to persevere, you will end up not learning them in the end. So this is the difference between learning concrete skills, which you know the steps, versus learning something that's much more abstract. But if we possess the perseverance and we just hit the same wall over and over again, then we don't actually progress. So this is where the adaptation part comes into play. And what I mean by adaptation, and I have a funny analogy here. Let's say you are a fly stuck inside the house, and there is one window with a crack in a corner, and the fly tries to exit the house, and it will just bump into the window time and time again. But at some point, that fly will try different positions of that window. And by trying this, eventually, that fly will reach the crack in the window and will get out. This analogy shows us basically how we can conquer complex skills. But we are in luck, we are humans and we possess one thing that the fly doesn't, and that is thinking. So the ability to think actually helps us a lot because we can simplify. Instead of randomly trying different points in the window, we can use data, we can analyze, we can see patterns, we can understand the bigger picture. And if we combine all of this and use them to reach faster the exit, then this is the advantage that we have over the fly. So this is the key to mastering complex skills that don't have a clear path. Don't be afraid to master them, because if you want to go independent, you will need them. So it's better to start early because, well, you will gain an advantage. To conclude this video, you as a game developer or an aspiring game developer are faced with two career choices. One is employment, where you are in a company, or independent, where you create your own company. The employment type usually focuses on one skill and gets better and better at that one. The independent game developer has a long journey ahead. And of course, the road is bumpier, there will be a lot of frustrations. They can either be solo or with a small team of friends, usually. They will face a lot of issues along the way. So this is why perseverance is important at this point. It will also be really hard because you won't get instant gratification. You won't have a salary at the end of the month. And speaking of this, if you don't have motivation, but you want to achieve independence, you can check my video up here about motivation in game development. Oh, and I almost forgot. What you also need are people skills. And regardless if you pick an employment path or if you pick an independent path, you'll need to interact with people, either being your coworkers and you need to be a team player, or you are an independent and you have clients, you have a community around you, and you need to engage with them and try to make them understand the value that your creation brings to them. Finding and polishing skills are really important for game development, but these are just a small part of the game development mindset. A game developer which wants to have success in this career needs to have a lot of other skills which we will discover in this channel, so consider subscribing because more videos are coming up. I'm Adrian and I'm signing out.